welcome to episode 2 of the Dad Having a Crack podcast. Our special guest today is a full-time husband, full-time teacher, part-time lead singer, part-time footy and basketball coach, father of 3, dad who is definitely having a crack, Luke Wilson. Welcome to the Dad Having a Crack podcast.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me, Brendan.
No worries at all. Theme today is balance, finding the balance in family life, your life, and just enjoying being a dad and celebrate being a dad. And one thing that I know that you're very good at. So great to have you here again.
It's good to be here.
We'll kick it off with a few warm-up questions as I did with Greg in episode 1, which was a bit of fun. So nothing too tricky. What's something people wouldn't expect about you?
I think most people are pretty surprised when they find out that I've been a lead singer in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely probably. And then probably on the flip side, when you say to them, when I'm the lead singer, I'm also a teacher.
Yep, definitely. That's one thing that I know when we first met. I went, oh, right, okay, there you go. Didn't see that coming. So we'll touch on that a little bit more after the warm-up questions because I think it's a fascinating story. What's your drink of choice? Anything. Doesn't have to be alcohol or any.
I think I've probably got 2. I do really enjoy a fresh lychee juice.
Nice.
Love that. It's got to have with some ice.
Yep.
And most nights of the week I'll probably have a Pepsi on ice.
Oh, beautiful.
And then beer. I'll probably go with maybe a pale ale.
Yeah.
A doggy.
Or a moon dog.
A moon dog.
A moon dog.
Moon dog or a stomping ground pale ale. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd probably be the 2. That'd be any of those. I'd be very happy.
Shout out to a couple of local brewers.
Yes,
very
delightful.
Good. Excellent. Do you eat lychees on their own?
I love lychees.
Okay.
Yeah, love them.
Nice.
Yeah, big fan. Even the fresh ones.
Yeah.
Peeling them and eating them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just the pip that's a bit of a pain in the backside.
Yeah, recent trip to Vietnam and bought some off the little stall holders and just peeling them fresh and eating them. They were it's like having cherries at Christmas. They were awesome.
Yeah, no.
So very nice. Awesome. Favorite band or music to chuck on?
I love music. I suppose mood is going to be a big determinant of that. How I'm feeling. If I'm feeling, just want to chill out, I'd probably put something on, maybe a bit. I suppose heavy music's my love.
Yep.
So I really enjoy heavy music. So it'd be just a lighter version of heavy music. Maybe probably at the moment something like Misery Signals, and then probably all-time favorite band. I think Metallica's probably up there.
Yeah,
as probably most listened to. One that it sort of draws so many memories back from when you were a kid and growing up and stuff. And
album in particular, Metallica album.
Not necessarily. I suppose probably the Black Album. Yeah. Not that I don't. It's not the one, but that's probably the one that I could listen to and reflect most upon. But they're all great. Justice for All's great, and but I suppose probably my favourite band, local band, would probably be Mindsnare.
Right.
Yeah, they're a local hardcore band, and they're probably my favourite band that I could probably put on any of their music, and that's really enjoy that.
Nice. Where are they generally playing?
Melbourne. They're a Melbourne band.
Yep.
They're sort of some older guys in the hardcore scene, and they've just been doing it. I've been following them for a long time, and just a band that I really think do great things.
No, excellent. Well, hopefully if you jump on that have a listen to this and can give them a bit of listening time. And any other podcasts or YouTube shows, episodes, series you're watching at the moment?
True crime.
Yep.
And also to the Howie Games.
Yeah,
and
nice.
his interviews. So they've been good. But on YouTube, I Mark Weens.
Okay.
He's a food vlogger.
Right.
And I don't know what it is. I think it's his expressions and his he eats his food and he's like, wow. I think I really enjoy watching his shows.
I'll have to have a look.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
They're good.
And you can't go past the Howie Games. How good are the
Howie
scores?
Games are good. I enjoy the Howie Games.
Who do you reckon he's one of the guests that he's had on that you've gone, oh, wow, that really hit me, or that was a story I wasn't expecting?
I reckon the Shane Warne one, when he spoke to Shane Warne, I thought that was insightful. But I'm not a huge cricket fan, but I found the cricketing ones were probably the good ones. When Gilly and
Grant Hackett for me was one that really got me, and his obsession with winning and how he felt when he came second, and those silver medals and what they actually didn't mean to him, and how much that sort of represented failure. And then his story after was extraordinary. And Trevor Hendy.
I haven't listened to that one.
Yeah, phenomenal story. Interesting. Yeah. And again, he was a bit of a favourite of mine growing up on the Gold Coast.
I could imagine.
So
I remember watching him on the Channel 10 when they used to have the
Grant Kenny.
Cooling out
the Guy Leach.
And all those guys.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I think still sometimes I'm hoping to be Trevor Hendy one day, but still failing dismally.
Just keep trying.
Good intro. There's a bit to cover in there. We could dive into a fair bit of that stuff, but we'll and maybe we will in this this next part.
Sounds good.
Your background and life before kids.
Mm-hmm.
What were your main interests? How did you spend your time?
I grew up around the corner in it was technically called Reservoir, Preston Reservoir, and grew up, older brother and a cousin who sort of spent a lot of time with us, and went primary school, loved sports, grew up doing athletics. Athletics was the primary sport that I played, and then obviously kicking the football, playing cricket out in the front yard. So I loved playing sports. Wasn't particularly academic, and so I grew up as a young tacker loving sports, and then went through to high school. Continued that, went on and played a bit of football at club level, and continued doing athletics, and sort of took that further. Did pretty well at athletics, got to state championships in various events and stuff. Never won gold medal or anything, but
what were your pet events?
It sort of changed because early on I think I was pretty quick for my age, and then sort of slowed down as I got a bit older. And then it sort of transferred into, funnily enough, considering my size, I sort of went from the sprinting events into the throwing events, and was discus and shot put.
Yeah, right.
Which makes no sense because I'm, certainly at that age I was just a stick.
More built like a runner than a.
Built like a runner, but competing in a bunch of athletes who went on and competed for Australia. In discus and shot put, and obviously there was no competition. Here I was throwing the discus, 40 meters, 35, 40 meters, and then you got Aaron Neighbour, who went on, and I think he Commonwealth Games or whatever, and he was throwing the discus 60 meters. And he's giant compared to me. I'm 6 foot and he's 6'6", and so, and then basketball came, sort of started playing that in, I don't know, about year 9, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And so just sports. Love sports. It was all about sports, and probably music as well. Really enjoyed listening to music. And again, I think I worked out probably in primary school that I liked heavy music.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What sort of
at that
what was the connection, or what was the?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can remember. I can remember doing athletics with a young lad, and I remember talking to him about Metallica.
Yeah, right.
And so at that stage, I think it was Master of Puppets. The album was out, and just talking to him about that.
Yeah. So what are we about, 80s, 88, 89?
I reckon, it's probably about 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, 88, 89. And, I think I was grade 4, grade 3.
Yeah.
And I didn't own any of the tapes at that stage or anything like that. It's just stuff that you'd seen on Rage and heard on. Yep. And it wasn't even like my older brother was into heavy metal or anything like that. So it was just something that found me, and then I found it, and then that was just my thing.
Was that your Sunday morning rage?
Yeah, definitely on. Yeah, and then you just got disappointed when they put Madonna on and stuff. It was like, put the good stuff back on.
Too many weeks of Like a Prayer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
yeah. Just with I suppose going back to your athletics, was it something that you just sort of found you couldn't push any further, or you just lost interest, or it sort of, because I have gone for a run with you and you're clearly very capable. Was it something that sort of took you away from it, or did you get to a point you think, oh, I'm just not going to make this?
Yeah, I suppose, you worked out probably by the time you get to 15, 16, it's like, right, okay, this is as far as I'm going. I'm seeing guys who, I grew up racing and now they're beating me, hormones change and it. So like, I knew that I was never going to become a champion athlete at athletics. And it was just, I just enjoy it. And I still do. I love going to, I love going to a track. Tracks, watching. I just saw that the World Championships coming up in September. I'm like, oh, that's so good. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
So it's just a sport that I just loved, and that was it. Yeah.
Well, what would have been your 3 or 4 top sports? And again, still does it flow through today? You mentioned basketball. You mentioned athletics.
I think for viewing, athletics, I still love watching field events.
Yeah,
love watching field events. I never played cricket for a team, but always played at the front.
Yeah.
So I love watching cricket. AFL, played AFL. Probably up until recently, or not, within the last sort of 10 or so years. Probably would have liked to play AFL more than I liked watching it. I wasn't a big fan of watching AFL growing up. Yeah. More basketball. Love watching basketball.
Who do you follow?
Collingwood, the Pies. Yeah, love the Pies. More recently, again, I'm a PE teacher, so really badminton. Love badminton.
Yeah.
Love playing it. Love introducing it to kids at school because it's just one of those games that you can. I shouldn't say easy, but it's a relatively easy game to pick up.
Okay.
And you can get really good results quickly.
Yeah.
But it's a hard game. It's not you're not going to the Olympics just because you're a good bat. You need to be elite, and that's a big difference. And the other sport's volleyball as well. So loving volleyball.
How do the kids find it when you introduce that to them?
Badminton.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little bit like, oh, it's boring. This is this is crap, and then you start playing with them, and it's probably one of those games where a large majority of them would be like, oh, this is boring initially, and then they play it and they're like, oh, it's really good. How did you enjoy it? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's like, it's a really good game.
Well, maybe that's a good time to jump into your teaching and you sort of. I picked up earlier that you said that academia wasn't your main thing when you were at school, and the irony of ending up being a teacher is not lost on me. So, how did you decide to pursue teaching, and when did that happen?
I didn't. I was never. It was not even a part of my imagining at any stage of my life was I ever going to become a teacher. Went through high school relatively aimlessly, I suppose. Just playing sport, loving sport, and then sort of as you progress through, get through year 10 and subject selections come up. It's what am I going to do? And you think, I might become an accountant. And then you rationalise that and you go, I'm stuck in a chair all day. There's no chance that's going to happen. I'm, probably ADHD and all that sort of stuff. So that's not going to work. And then you sort of start dwindling there. I love drawing. I like art and that sort of thing. And I'm not particularly good at drawing. And I was thinking about doing something down design path. And I remember talking to my art teacher. I'm like, do you think that? And he was just like, no. That's,
really?
Yeah. Well, in a nice way, not in a, just like it's, you enjoy it, but it's not, you don't have that creative flair.
So it's pretty direct feedback from a teacher.
Very, very direct. Oh, look, and admittedly, I knew him through athletics and he was a coach and stuff. Okay. So it wasn't like it was, it was well taken. I probably just needed to hear it from someone who I respected and he's, nice and just saying, it's probably something you don't want to go towards. And then yeah, it was all right. Well, I'm going to go and get a trade, and I figured I'll go and become an electrician. So
Right.
that was, or I was going to join the army, or I was going to join the army to become an electrician.
Did you write some of these down and keep a list and cross them off? Because it's there's a fair assortment of options there.
Yeah.
So electrician to the army.
Yeah, so that was what I was going to do, and then it wasn't until I got to year 12, and my geography teacher said, "Oh, have you ever thought of doing teaching?" And I was like, "No, never thought of doing teaching." Well, I'd never thought of going. Didn't really think of going to university. So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then again thought, "Oh well, wouldn't be much fun crawling through the roofs on a 30-degree day."
Yep.
And love sport. I'm like, oh well, literally it was. Yeah, I was sort of just being, oh well, if you think I could do it, well then maybe I can do it. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I probably should have studied a little bit more leading up until that point.
Right. What do you think it was that jumped out at that particular teacher to come to you and say, hey, why don't you think about pursuing this? Or why do you? Well, why shouldn't you?
I'm not sure. I think it's probably just one of those things that, now that I'm a year 12 teacher myself, it's just one of those conversations you're always having with students.
Yeah.
You sort of, where are you thinking of going with that? And, if because the changes occur, they're occurring daily.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing this. Oh, actually, no. I'm finding this too difficult at the moment. So, I'm thinking about another option. Yeah, all right. Well, you got these options and that option, and you can maybe look at this sort of pathway. Or so I think it's sort of inherently what probably most VCE teachers would be doing. Certainly Year 12 teachers just talking to students all the time.
Yeah. Do you reflect back now in your teaching days on that conversation or any other particular teaching influences that you had on you as in high school? Or?
Yeah, well, I think for me anyway, I think the type of and the teachers that I had, they're real. Like I sort of look at my practice and sort of go, oh, I can see why I'm the teacher that I am.
Yeah. How would you describe yourself as a teacher?
Oh, probably relatively, calm. And again, that's I've sort of been teaching for over 25 years, so I've learned that there's really no point in losing your schnitzel unless you're ready to break relationships, and sort of it needs to be a fairly serious thing to happen because you put so much effort into those relationships, and to decide to yell at someone about something that really isn't a trivial matter or nothing. It's something that's not a big deal. It's sort of I don't like being yelled at. Never have, and so I don't yell at my students anyway. Unless you're sort of really, there's a danger, or there's just
And I think that's I don't know many people that actually like that feeling of being yelled at. And again, it could be such an incidental moment that could be pivotal in someone's life, and you've changed the direction of someone's perception of you or their view of you. And again, especially as a teacher, it's such an influential role in someone's life. And again, sort of diving into the teaching a fair bit here, and which is a great conversation, I think, and not many people get the insight of what the teaching life is like. Is there any one student in particular, or a group of students, that you feel you've had the biggest impact on, or they've even had the biggest impact on you?
I think everyone has an impact. Like they've all your experiences lead to various, that they mold you in some way, shape, or form. And sometimes you don't know how they've molded you until it's sort of down the track. And I was working at a pretty gnarly school in terms of behaviour and stuff like that. And it's so easy because it's such a frustrating environment, for everyone. That you're trying to gain control by losing control. So after a while, it's just exhausting. And you're just absolutely exhausted. And there was a time there I can't, like, you'd be going home with a splitting headache. Your throat's completely cactus, and I'm a PE teacher as well. So, you need to use your voice. And there were days where the following days I can't yell anymore.
Yeah.
Or I can't raise my voice anymore. And then so you start looking at other ways to sort of get attention and all that. And then down the track you go, what was I screaming for? I didn't need, I've got these other tools that I can use that'll get the same result without me getting a headache and screaming at the top of my lungs and looking like I'm a psychopath.
And what are some of the go-to tools do you think that have the biggest impact?
Oh, relationships.
Yep.
That's everything. So getting those relationships, starting those relationships as quickly and as early as possible. And again, they don't need to start from anything special, but and I think as a teacher, if you're not enjoying the interactions, you get to deal with kids, young adults, and and I think that's empowering because you sort of see their energy and their vibrancy and their, it's almost like an honor. It's it's sort of like, to sort of have these relationships and be able to interact with them in a way where they're sort of trusting of you, you're trusting of them, and we're all going on a journey. We've got the parameters, but sort of things change so readily, and I suppose it's all about relationships.
Yeah, I can hear a strong sense of pride coming through and energy around your teaching, and it's not an area we've had a lot of discussion about in the past, and I'm actually it's coming across as a genuine passion, and I can tell that you're genuinely invested in it, and it's a massive impact that you have on people's lives, and I can tell that you take a lot of pride in that, and it's an amazing vocation, and teachers are phenomenal, and I think
on the most part,
on the most part. Potentially, I mean, we probably have some in our past that we go, oh, geez, But again, you try to latch onto the positive experiences you have, and it's sounding as though from 25 years of experience, I'm sure you've had a massive impact on a lot of your students, and we need to congratulate you on that. So well done on your 25-year teaching career, Luke. It's huge.
Thanks.
The band and the lead singer of the band.
Bands,
multiple bands. Yeah. How many are we up to now?
School band, 6.
Okay.
Well, is it a band? Yeah, it's just a conglomeration of dudes.
A requirement.
Yeah.
An obligate. A pathway.
Yeah, it was a pathway. Of sorts. Yeah.
The first one that sort of you went, I'm in a band. This is cool.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
It was a band called Nuffin.
Right.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, we should move on.
Right. Okay. Well,
yeah. So that was good. That was a really, it was good because you have to do it.
Yeah.
There's Silverchair had to do it, even though they probably only did it once. But every band needs to start somewhere, so you've got to have that period of time where you're working out what you can do or what you think you can do, realizing what you think you can't do is what it is, and all that sort of stuff. So
what held you back?
I reckon it's just you hold yourself back. Yeah. I look back now and it's like, there's really no reason why you can't. It's just work ethic. If you want to, I think anyway.
Confidence.
Yeah, just don't doubt yourself.
Yeah.
If you can, if you can go and stand up in front of however many people and do something, and do it lots and lots and lots, you're probably doing it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you keep working on it, you'll just perfect it and get better at it. But it's time and it's no money.
Some people just have that ability, don't they? Straight away, it's like I can get up and I'm confident. Stand up in front of a group and go, I can. Whether it's a band, whether you're public speaking, it's putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Others warm into it and take time. And if you sort of knew what you knew at 35 and then 40 when you were 20, you'd be like, I would have really dug in and had a proper go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but again, time's everything. And experience. So, So when do we get to That's your second band,
Yeah,
your
so
third band.
I suppose the biggest the band that was most successful, the band that we were lucky enough to sort of get lots of tours, and we toured all the states except for we didn't get to go to the Northern Territory, didn't go to Darwin. I suppose that's probably not surprising. I don't think too many bands, even big bands, sort of end up in Darwin.
Yep.
So Away From Now, we started that in late 99.
Yep.
1999. And then, that progressed through to about 2006 when I decided we're going to move overseas, and that sort of put a stop to that. And, we sort of never stopped, really. We spent period of times where we weren't playing, but, so we got the 20 Years album on vinyl release coming up in September at Stay Gold. So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
We'll pop something up on that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Band members still in contact? Obviously?
Yeah, still good mates. Well, we're back because we're sort of getting prepared for it, so we're rehearsing.
Yep.
But probably helps. Gibbo's probably one of my best mates, and he was in my bridal party and everything. So that's sort of it's easy from that perspective. We're always in contact. Our kids are friends, and our wives are good friends, and so that makes it easy. But we're all good mates. Yeah, I think it's hard not to be because you create that sort of bond, and you spend a lot of time together. Invariably.
Yeah. And how many sort of tours did you do? Or
heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even remember how many. I think we probably went to Perth 5 times.
Yeah.
Went to Adelaide a bunch. I don't know, 20 times, if not more. Sydney, probably not so much. I know probably about 10.
Yeah.
Queensland, maybe 5. Yeah.
And
Tassie a bunch of times.
How'd you manage the voice? Because it seems like a pretty taxing genre to be maintaining that level of intensity.
That's part of the learning of it. Early on you think you're invincible, and you soon work out that you can't drink 20 beers after the show and have a all the carry on associated with it, and then get up the next day and do the whole thing again. It doesn't happen. Especially like you said, doing you're trying to scream and sing and all that, and it goes south pretty quickly.
We'll get a couple of extracts of a couple of songs just for context.
Yeah.
And what do the boys from Away From Now do now? What are they?
So Gibbo, he's a teacher as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So we we were in high school together, so we finished VCE together, and then we both got into teaching. He's primary and I'm secondary. One of the guys is like a lighting sort of guy, Bondi drummer. Crispy's in IT, and Fergs is sort of in management, sort of stuff. So
pretty diverse group then?
Yeah, pretty diverse group. Yeah.
And what's the other band that you're working on?
It's a band called Fatigue.
Yep.
And that's sort of a bit more straightforward, sort of punk hardcore. No screaming though. Just sort of not as heavy.
Yep. So much to talk about. Like it's fascinating. Better move on to your time as a dad and family life.
Yes.
How'd you meet Jess?
Uni gig.
Yep.
I was playing with Gibbo at his uni. He'd hooked up a gig at ACU.
Yep.
And we were playing, and she stole my hat, and I just got the hat, and I was a bit fussy with my hats and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wanted my hat back.
And that came with some sort of commitment.
It did, in the
end. Commitment and 3 kids and a house and a mortgage and a renovation.
All of the above,
What do you love most about being a dad?
Wow. I was talking to my year 12s the other day, actually, and I was just saying the best thing I've ever done in my life is have my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best. It'll be the best, the greatest thing I ever do, and everything else will just be awesome. But that's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's a saying: 2 greatest days in your life:
the
day you're born and the day you find out why.
Yeah.
And for me, that was the day my first child came along.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is why. And then the second one was a reminder of why.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's so great about being a dad is you get to see almost elements of yourself evolve over a period of time through different forms. You're like, my God.
Yeah.
And when they start repeating things, you're like, you sound like me, but not only do you sound like me, you sound like my dad or something. Or you're like, what the heck?
Or I'm starting to sound like my dad. Or
you're
my
sounding
mum,
like your mum.
Yeah.
How do you involve yourself in your kids' lives? I know I mentioned up front you're part-time footy coach, part-time basketball coach.
I do a lot of coaching.
Yeah, teacher and coach.
Yeah. Well, I'm coaching at school and then I'm coaching at home as well. And so, but I think that's just a nice way of keeping in touch with them and having something to talk to them about and showing that you've got a real interest in what they're doing and so it's a sort of a double-edged sword because it's great, but sometimes it's limiting. Like I'm sure that the kids don't want to get coached by, and they sort of but it's great to be able to watch their journey and especially sport. It's awesome.
And the footy coaching, the girls team.
Yeah,
how are you enjoying that?
That's good. Yeah, it's good. And again, it's just training it tonight, and they're loving each other's company, and they're loving that I don't think they're liking the training too much, but they're just to watch that and see them having it's awesome.
They're having fun.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Yeah,
they're not doing amazing, but they're just.
How important is sport for kids though? It's a social network.
Yeah, that's it.
It's the go-to. Seeing kids socialise and get enjoyment out of something is.
Just laughing. They're just laughing. They're all laughing at each other. Yeah. And sometimes they're laughing at me. That's okay as well.
Yeah.
But they're just, they're just having a great time, and that's what you want.
I feel like that's a really great connection to have with your kids is sport, and you can relate to it because clearly there's a passion there. As a kid, I love again, sport's awesome. It's a huge part of my life, and the kids love it, and seeing you interact with the kids and the enjoyment that they get out of that, and when they do laugh at you, I find is equally satisfying. But we talk about a lot of the highs. What's one of the moments where you go far out? I've maybe the day's got the better of me, or maybe there's a period of time and you've gone far out. This is pretty overwhelming. Is there any particular time? Over the last 14 years where you've gone far out, this is tough.
I reckon initially, I think the biggest shock occurs early.
Yeah,
like I can still remember. I think it was a second. Oh no, I think it was a third. And just washing out and just go. Well, this is too much.
Yeah,
this is just way too much. And just thinking How do you, where do you go from here? And you just do. You just,
keep going.
You just got to keep going. Because you've got those little monkeys running around going bananas, and then you see that, and it's like, okay, that's why I do it. And that's but it gets pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and supporting your wife, and turning up. You're turning up for. In a particular role, being present, trying to give your best there, come home and give your best, and fatigue and tiredness.
And tiredness, I think that's a big thing, isn't it? That, you're going from being, a younger individual and you're exposed because you're lacking sleep, and emotionally you're drained, and everything's just draining. Work's draining you, and everything's just draining you, and it's just hard. Sometimes it's tough, but it's all worth it in the end.
Well, to sort of reflect back on the overall theme that we were looking for, and out of this podcast or out of this conversation was balance. So you talk about how hard it is, and we can all relate as dads to going through those phases of shock and awe. What's this all about? How do I do this? While parts of your life change completely. How do you go about finding balance, and when did you find that sort of time where you went, this kind of works? I'm getting a bit of balance back here, and I'm probably starting to get a little bit of a handle on it. We don't think we ever fully get a handle on it, but
for me, I just sort of see this 50-50, and it's not 50-50.
No.
It's more just probably for me, I just think it's the acceptance. It's like, all right, well, this is what life is going to become.
Yep.
You're not hanging out with your mates. Bands aren't happening.
Yep.
If I remember cycling, the time, I think maybe when we had our second or third, I can't remember exactly, but I was cycling all the time.
Yep.
Every day, all weekend. I'd be gone for I wouldn't get be gone for hours on Saturday and Sunday. And there was a period of time there where I was really working to, I was getting up at 4 a.m. and riding down North Road and doing North Road rides and trying to really get the fitness up and I think there was one night where I was just like, it's done. I can't keep doing this. It's too much.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's probably where the acceptance is. All right, well, you've just got to step up, and that's got to go. The bands had stopped. And that was probably the last little thing that I was holding on to, of sort of going, that's mine, and no, I'm going to keep working at it. And I was like, no, you need to just let it go. Let this be. And I suppose it's something that I've been thinking about is just being in the present. Just being in the present and just going, all right, well, at the moment it's not there, but that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Just means that at that period of time, or where you're at now, it's just not there. But it doesn't have to be given away, or it's not something you can't go back to.
And what did that change, do you think, coming to that realization?
I think just the stress, just the worry. Just let you be again. Just let you. I could be more in the moment of with the kids and stuff rather than I want to try and get out and go for a ride and get instead of worrying, I haven't got that ride done. I need to go and get that ride. Now I've got another 500 Ks I've got to try and clock up. It's just like, all right, well, you'll get it.
Yeah,
it's not going to be tomorrow or the day after, but if you really want it, you'll go and get it later on.
Yeah.
So,
and what did that 500 Ks mean? And have you missed it now?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm definitely missing it now because the guts are telling me that.
But what is it? What is it that you were a part of that potentially
That's right, exactly.
you weren't a part of? You can't draw those dots together.
And just the accepting of, no, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
The kids have to be your first priority.
I think acceptance is a great way of putting it, and it's not an acceptance to say I'm defeated. It's an acceptance to say life has changed.
Yeah.
And this is a phase of life that we're working through that helps not only you, obviously mentally as well, but also the people that are most important to us.
That's right. Yeah.
And I can relate to that in so many ways where you go, I would, you think, I desperately want to do that, but is it the right thing?
Yeah.
And is it going to be the best for everyone, including myself?
That's right.
You go, no, just pull up.
And I think, going back to that balance, it's sort of like, well, it's on the scales.
Yeah.
But where is it? It's, all right, well, I'm putting it from that side of the scales over to that side of the scale so that I can balance it.
You're right. Yeah. I think you're spot on when you talked about 50-50 before. Nothing is 50-50. No. It's like it's 80% family at this particular time and go 20% over here.
Yeah.
But that's going to adjust. And we get to a point in our lives and go, well, it's now 20-80 the other way. And like, I missed that 60% or that 40%.
Exactly.
And you go, when, that's gone too quickly. So, great reflection, I think.
Yeah.
How many other dads do you think specifically that have they ever spoken to you and said, yep, I've got to that point?
No, it's not something not something I brought up with them. No.
Yeah.
But you definitely, I do look at some dads and I go, wow, how are you able to do that?
Yep.
How does that occur?
Yep.
Like, and again, the balance.
Yeah. What we're not getting though is a look behind the.
That's right.
The curve.
Exactly.
You don't
right.
know what's.
Yeah.
Maybe you're seeing the 20%.
That's right. Exactly.
Or maybe you're seeing 60% or the 80% that's out of balance.
Yeah.
You go.
That's right.
So, I find that challenge too sometimes where you look at people and go, far out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How have they got time to do that?
Yeah.
Or where are they, when's this happening?
Yeah.
We've covered exercise. We've covered a lot of, the physical side of things. What's a quick go-to for you just to maintain your physical and also your mental health now in the time that you have.
Yeah, still cycling. Love that. It's just easy. It's ride every day anyway. So I ride to work and that. But yeah, I do love going for a ride. And I think just sort of more recently, I was like, oh well, with the weather and stuff, it's a bit harder. All right, just go for a run. Just get a little quick run done, 20 minutes. 3, 4K, whatever you can get done. And just stop feeling guilty about doing it or not doing it, but. Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's it. Yeah. Get out there and just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
We could touch on your top, speaking of running, the DRC. You got your cap and your hoodie on.
Sponsored athlete.
DRC. What's the DRC?
the Dad's Run Club.
Yes.
Yeah. So during COVID, a bunch of the dads decided to sort of get moving.
Yep.
And we did that, and we caught up and started running daily, or sort of, I think it started sort of a couple of days a week.
Yep.
And then sort of ended up daily. And then it sort of moved into cycling and everything. Yeah. So become very regular.
Very regular.
Very regular.
Shout out to the Dad's Running Club, which I can say I'm a proud founding member of. So,
yep. You were there at the footy club.
It was a lockdown go to, and it got the kids out of the house. It got us out of the house.
Kept us sane, and
kept us somewhat fit-ish.
Definitely fit. We're all the fittest we've ever been.
Yeah, running wise, me too. So no, that was a great initiative that I think helped save a few of us during that time, definitely. And
and then we changed the name to Daily Roller Collective.
Daily Roller Collective.
Yeah, because we were cycling as well. And all that stuff. It was good. Yeah, it's great.
Nice. Other than singing and writing, what's something that you want to have a crack at but you haven't had a crack at yet?
I do play other instruments.
Yep.
And I'd like to spend a bit more time doing that. Just my own music.
Okay.
Yeah. And getting that. Like I've done some stuff, recording wise, but maybe.
Singing solo, play the guitar, or
could be anything. It could be to say it's always heavy. Sometimes you need the light and the dark and stuff. So spending more time, and I think now that my kids are getting a bit older, I can maybe afford to do that. Spend a bit more time doing just stuff that I want to do.
Yep.
Focused on me.
Have the kids got an interest in the music though?
No, not at all. They hate my music.
All right. So exclusively your time and your interest.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
This has been an awesome conversation. Excuse me. Awesome conversation, Luke. And I feel like we could fill another hour quite comfortably. Just, diving into so many things. You've clearly had a massive impact with your teaching career. Your time in your bands, again, has obviously been a huge influence in your life. I mean, Highlight.
Yeah.
You met your wife.
Yeah, I met my wife. So many memories. Met so many awesome people.
Yeah.
Been to so many awesome places. Yeah.
Flowed into life as a dad. You're clearly very passionate about being a dad, and you're having a great impact clearly on your kids, and really enjoyed having a chat with you. If there's one thing that you want listeners to take away from your experience as a dad, what would it be?
I think just be present. Yeah, just stop worrying about what's happening in the future or what's happened in the past, and just be present, just be there.
Yep. And how can we support you in terms of things that you're doing now? What can we follow? Your YouTube, Instagram, your band?
Yeah, I think just check out. Well, just go to Spotify and have a. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm very cognizant of that. Away from now, we've got some. I think we've got a couple of albums on, or bits of music on there. Go and have a listen to that, and
excellent.
Yeah.
Luke, been awesome. Great to have a chat. I think we got plenty out of that.
Yeah.
And I hope others get plenty out of it as well. So thanks for being number 2 episode, but technically the first in-depth conversation with one of the dads. So
awesome.
Thanks.
For having me.
Good
Been
on you,
great.
mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thank you.